An historic climate deal has just been adopted in Paris. It's the first time globally nations have actually agreed to carbon reduction pact. CCTV's Kate Parkinson is following the story. She joins us with more from Paris Live. Kate.
Susan, just to give you a quick overview of what has happened here in Paris this evening. I think you've just seen the pictures, extraordinary scenes, an overflow of emotion as the countries represented here, almost 200 countries, unanimously agreed to adopt the Paris Agreement, which commits to curbing greenhouse gases. It commits to reducing global warming to no more than 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and to pursue the more ambitious target of 1.5 degrees. It also commits the countries to reviewing the process every 5 years, and it says the $100 billion of climate financing to be given to developing countries from 2020 every year is a minimum, and there is a view to raising further funding. These are all issues that have been extremely contentious during these 2 weeks of negotiations, but the hurdles were overcome. The agreement was adopted. The Chinese envoy, China's top climate negotiator, in fact, mentioned how difficult the talks had been and how much the parties had compromised when he was speaking at the plenary session following the adoption. Let's have a listen.
虽然这个协议并不十分完美
The agreement is not perfect, and there are areas that need improvement, but that should not stop everyone from taking an historic march forward.
So, Kate, tell us what the next step is.
Well, this is the big question. It's been 2 weeks of grueling negotiations here. Not a lot of delegates have had much sleep over the past few days, certainly, but now the hard work really begins. They have to go back to their governments, to their countries, to their people, and try to implement what has been agreed here in Paris. The first step will be for the individual countries to ratify the Paris Agreement. Certainly there was a lot of support in the plenary session, a lot of countries talking about how they are committed to implementing the measures in the agreement, but it's not going to be a smooth road. This is the first step on a very ambitious journey, and as the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said earlier today, there are billions of people who are depending, some of them their lives are depending on this decision, and the world will continue to watch what happens next.
Kate Parkinson live in Paris.